see that? But that's when we take everything serious. You know what I mean? They 5 and what's their record?
5-8 now.
Yeah, they terrible record. But guess what? He still cares. He's still fighting. Competitor.
Shady, Anthony Medias, again, this is going to be a heck of a show. We're going to take y'all on an emotional gauntlet today, so get your minds right. Shady, what does the Cowboys loss mean?
I mean, what? What's it mean? It means the same thing for the last 5 weeks. They're not a good football team. They're not going to no playoffs. Look, I know y'all didn't buy that whole 2-game winning streak and this and that, and Micah, you know, having this whole dramatic thing, and then Mike McCarthy. We playing for Mike McCarthy. This isn't Netflix. This isn't no documentary series. No, they're a bad team, right? They were bad when they had their third quarterback. He was bad, too. And they're not a winning team, and they won't go to the playoffs, and then they'll have a first high draft pick, and we'll talk about the Cowboys going back to Super Bowl next year. But not this year. So all the Cowboy fans, thank God. See, the one thing I don't like that y'all doing since they've been bad, it's like y'all giving them a pass.
Oh, ain't nobody getting no
and y'all not celebrating what it is. No. I'm celebrating what it is.
Because you're an Eagle.
So, you know, like for example, though, like when I talk about bad teams being bad teams and finding ways to lose, they found a way to lose that game.
Yeah, they did.
Because the Bengals didn't want to win it either. They didn't want to win it.
Either, man.
And then that's like on a special team, that's how you lose the game.
Peter.
Get out of here, man.
Here's what it means to me, Mike McCarthy's gone. Or at least he should be. When I suggest that is, coaches can't just coach when everything goes right, because obviously any coach can coach when everything goes right. When the Dallas Cowboys are the only team in the history of the National Football League with a 1,000-yard receiver, a 1,000-yard rusher, a player that has 10 sacks, and a player that has 10 interceptions, which they were in 2021, of course you'll win 10 games. But what can you do when your quarterback goes down? Ask Kevin Stefanski. He made it to the playoffs last year, obviously not this year. What can you do when everything doesn't go right? So to me, it means that Mike McCarthy is officially gone. They're not going to make it to the playoffs. I don't think they're going to have a winning season, obviously. So the Cowboys with Mike McCarthy, I think that tenure, I think that relationship, it's over. I say it like this, and Chase has been saying, I don't know if y'all have heard him, Peter, if you're the head coach, you're not just the coach of the offense. To me, you are the coach of everything. What you say on special teams, and Odu Arie, he's the guy who touched that ball for the Cowboys. When there's a punt and you need to get away from the ball, you point at it and you run in the opposite direction. That's, again, I was a special teams player. That's where I made my mark in the NFL. You point at the ball, you yell, Peter, and you run in the opposite direction. That tells all your teammates, run away from where the individual who is pointing and yelling, run away from the point. Peter, and run. At the point in which you lose that game because of a special teams blunder, which, by the way, Mike McCarthy has lost before. 2014 NFC Championship game, I believe it was Bostic, front lines of a kickoff special teams return unit. He instead goes to field the ball instead of blocking. It cost his team another chance at the Super Bowl. Green Bay Packers, James wasn't on that squad. To me, that is on the head coach. Special teams coach, take accountability. Player as well, take accountability. But to me, it puts the nail in the coffin of Mike McCarthy.
So this is why I love because I got your back on this one. This is why I love this show and the facility. Because it was the same outcome, they lost, but two different views coming off the same outcome. First of all, the Cowboys are not making the playoffs. That's what this loss means. Second of all, I actually liked how this team fought all year long without their backup quarterback, really since Dak got hurt. I actually think that I am growing more and more keen to Mike McCarthy coming back. So I would say the opposite of you. You got to look at the body of work with what has been given to Mike McCarthy. I believe that from Dak's comments earlier in the week about like supporting Mike McCarthy, then you have Micah's comments, right? Saying, hey, we want to fight. And then you see he's really down because they lost. And then you got Troy Aikman's comments, who is, in my opinion, one of the greatest Cowboys of all time.
Of course.
And what he said was, short of Bill Belichick, I don't know if you're going to bring in that has a better resume. I just feel for a team that I really do not think that is far away. I sense that the team really believes in Mike McCarthy. And I actually saw that, like, forget about the loss. Like, you're playing with your backup quarterback. Overshown is out for the season right now. It's just a litany of injuries. You got to look at this from a macro standpoint. Who is going to be better fit right now for Mike McCarthy? And when you see those three guys, Dak, Micah, and Troy, all three major players in the Dallas community, having Mike McCarthy's back, I actually took the opposite of what you said. I think he should be back.
It's a good take, Chase.
Yeah.
The loss means the playoffs is gone. That is what the loss means.
That's what that loss means?
Yeah, that's the
Oh,
playoffs.
I don't know
is
why
gone.
I knew that like weeks ago.
Nah,
Well, I don't know,
man,
maybe.
it was a mustard seed.
Another mustard seed.
That they could get up in the playoffs. But that one play, block punt, Peter, you try to go get the ball and be a hero. That play could change everything.
Yeah, 1,000%.
That could change everything. That could mean, is Mike McCarthy back? That could mean, do we sit Micah? Do we sit our star players? Do we basically not tank, but tank the season? Because we just seen one of our key star players in this football game get hurt and overshown, tears ACL. Do you want to risk that with Micah? Do you want to risk that with Diggs? Do you want to risk that with a lot of your star players? It's a lot of questions now. And watching that game, and I've been in special teams meeting rooms with Mike. I'm on the hands team when I was in Green Bay. So I know for sure Bostic knew. Do not take a step back. Let the catcher catch the ball. I know for sure Mike McCarthy is detailed about them special teams. That right there is not on Mike McCarthy. That's on a player trying to be the superstar, trying to go get the ball, made a bonehead play, lost the game for his team. I've lost the game for my team before, too. All right, on the bonehead play. So, but I know Mike is detailed on that. The special teams, that ain't got nothing to do with Mike right there. That's why you hire coaches,
here's my fear, though.
Acho.
It's
You
like-
can't coach everything.
Yeah, go ahead, 2-5.
I never lost a game for my team. So James, I don't know if you.
have.
Okay, so these two are by themselves.
For sure I have.
Yeah, I've never. For sure I haven't. But I do want to ask you this because I don't even watch special teams for real.
Yep.
Unless, like Devin Hester was back there.
You funny, bro.
Yeah, like, come on. But look, what happens, though? What happened like this? I was trying to figure it out. I had to Google it because I don't really watch special teams like that.
So you're taught a couple things, and this is why.
Hold on. Are you serious right now?
I don't mean, like,
You know what I'm saying?
you never heard of Peter Cole? I've never been on punt in high school. None of that.
I ain't saying you was on punt.
You're taught like a couple things, and this is why I do put it on McCarthy, because this mistake would not have happened with the Kansas City Chiefs. Because every one of their players on the active roster, 1 through 47, have proven multiple times throughout the course of this season
Hold on
to
really
not
quick,
make
Acho.
this mistake. Go ahead,
Can
Jay.
I stop you? So you're telling me that
Chiefs?
Andy Reid has went into these special teams meetings and say, hey, man, if the punt block, Peter.
I'm not
No,
telling- I'm not
Everybody
telling
knows that, though. They know
That's
that
my
part.
point.
Except
That's
you.
what I'm saying.
No.
That's on the special teams code.
But here's
This ain't got nothing to do
why I
with
can't,
Mike.
because say
Yeah,
what
I agree with you.
we can say what we will about certain coaches, right? And this one coach who I played for in Philadelphia, Chip Kelly, say what you will about all the things. I know this much, James Jones. On Fridays and on Saturdays, which is when we do the special teams plays, Dave Phipp is a special teams coach for the Eagles, current special teams coach for the Detroit Lions, best team in the NFC by record. Chip is the one who would vocally say, hey, front line.
Special teams coach.
Hey, not Phipp. Chip Kelly would intercede. And so at the end of the day, the reason I'm obviously on Wadier, he has to take blame. He's the player. I think Fossil is the special teams coach. They're taking some responsibility. But James Jones, everything stops with
Acho,
the head coach.
So really quick, though. So as we sit here today, you don't think that them special teams players knew that? You don't think that them special teams players went through that situation to where, because we all know, if the ball is blocked and it's going forward, Peter, get away from it. If it's going behind you, go try to scoop and score the ball. So you mean to tell me that the Dallas Cowboys players did not know that, or is this just strictly a bonehead play by this dude?
I think they didn't know it enough, that is all that matters.
When
the Kansas City Chiefs, who's the Kansas City Chiefs player that blocked the kick? We don't know. But we know Andy Reid and the Chiefs got one loss because it starts and stops with the head coach. What's the Kansas City Chiefs special teams coordinator's name? You don't know.
Dave Toad.
He don't know.
I know.
But it starts
do I have to
and
know?
stops
one in the league.
because we know Andy Reid.
But what I'm saying, if they didn't block the kick, I'm not going to say, Andy Reid, why you ain't dial up a field goal block?
No, but what we are going to say is if a special teams play costs you a game, if it costs you a game, to me, it's coming
you
down.
would say,
Why you
and
didn't
people around the league would say that Jim Fossil, the special teams coordinator,
the
best.
John Fossil is one of the best special teams coaches in all of the league, and it's been so for quite some time.
Great special teams coach.
Okay, so it falls on him too. You don't think Mike is in the meetings?
mentioned him.
But I think he's the number one reason. If your guy makes a mistake and you are overseeing special teams, yeah, of course the head coach has some play. This is not all Mike McCarthy.
Not all, but if Mike McCarthy's leash is already short, we know that. We know his leash was already short. Now you lose another game. You're eliminated from the playoffs. I just don't think Mike McCarthy had the luxury of losing that
Players
game.
should be accountable when they step onto the field.
I mean, like, these guys are all, like, heartbroken. Like, would you like this on every game y'all lost? They're a bad team. And I know we want to, like, act like it's Mike McCarthy's fault. It's not his fault.
No.
They're just a bad team. How you lose that game, though? Seriously, how you lose that game?
Trying to go get a punt.
Another thing is this, because you didn't, like, actually explain to the viewers and people that don't know, like myself. So they blocked the kick.
Yes.
Oh, keep going, because I'm trying to...
If you touch it, it's automatically now it's deemed a fumble.
If it's going forward.
If it's going
So
forward.
if it's going for it and the kickoff...
And the punt return.
Passes the line of scrimmage.
Correct.
Okay. So the same as, like, if the gunner or
Muffs
the
it.
returner...
Muffs it.
Yes.
Okay,
Bingo.
cool. See, because sorry, everybody, right? Because I do a lot of film study on, like, the football games, but I never, ever really watched special teams. So, apologies.
Don't pay
Whose
shady
fault
anymore.
is it? The player. Stay away from it. You know that. It's been taught since high school.
No, but I'm saying, one thing I learned about special team players, though, they know their job. Because they don't have a lot of other jobs.
Burrow a legit MVP candidate.
Dare, huh?
Yes, yes,
Oh,
yes.
wait.
I know. It's a lot going on with stats and wins and you hate
my
stats.
Eagles.
Eagles and Jalen Hurts and AJ. I get all that. But star players around the world is going to understand what Shady McCoy's got to say. And that is, if we can't win, how can I be impactful? By my numbers. So I don't think Joe Burrow should win the MVP, but we got to at least talk about him, though. I mean, the brother is leading the league in yards per game, yards, touchdowns. He's doing everything, though. Putting up 30-plus points a game. Like, he balling. The defense ain't doing their part. I don't know if that's Zach Taylor or whoever you want to blame. But as the quarterback, when I watched him, not only just the Cowboys, the Eagles, the Ravens, he put numbers up and looked good doing it. And I cannot... I got to acknowledge that. I know y'all don't want to because y'all talking about wins and all that, but last year I watched Lamar Jackson win MVP, and his numbers were just okay. And the team was successful. And you as a voter and you and your boys that gave him that vote. I'm not going to do that. I want you to win games and all that, have a good record, but I also want you to be a baller. When we look at a guy like Saquon Barkley, he's balling on the field, and his team is balling on the field. Josh Allen, right now, he's balling on the field, and his team's balling on the field. So them guys should definitely be the front runners, but we got to acknowledge what Joe Burrow's doing. He got to be on that committee somewhere, somehow.
JoJo, it's on you. Chase.
I just can't believe he said that. I love that. I like it.
You got like that.
I love it. No, I love it. Because you say you're not I just can't get over that.
I don't like the stats. Just y'all be doing, but the stats like, you just gave me a lot of good stats. No, the stats
that you give is the legit
The
one.
stats like, I'm an elite player, and this is the reason why.
I love it. You're talking me
Because
into it.
wins will always show you all the stats.
You're talking me into it, but no, like he shouldn't be. Like it's unfortunate that they are 5-8 because even from Joe Burrow's standards, he's having the best season of his career. And quite honestly, it's not even close. You got Jamar Chase, who's going to probably win a Triple Crown, which is crazy because the last one I think
What's
did
the
that was
Triple Crown?
Cooper Kupp. Triple Crown, first in, so you lead the league in yards, receptions, and touchdowns.
Everything.
He's first in yards, receptions, and he has 15 touchdowns. The next closest receiver is 6. 6 behind him.
They not catching him.
So 6 behind him. So he's not catching them. And then Joe Burrow's first in pass yards a game, first in pass touchdowns. He has 33 passing touchdowns in 13 games.
Golly.
Okay, first in completions, 335. Like the list can go on and on. However, like I want to, even if they were 8-8 or like they finished 8-8, like then you start to creep in. At 5-8, I can't put you in it because only twice in the history of MVP has it gone to a player whose team did not make the playoffs. Only twice. Okay, I gotta go way back.
Tell me when that was.
The 1967 Baltimore Colts, Johnny Unitas, pretty good company. And the 1973 Buffalo Bills, O.J. Simpson.
OJ,
What was their
the
record?
juice, man.
I don't know, they didn't make the playoffs, though. Like, so he's got to make the playoffs for it.
RIP.
Look, there's a 1%. I had Colin, like, there's a 1% chance that the Bengals make the playoffs.
Mustard seed.
1%. So you're telling me there's a chance, but right now I can't put him in that conversation. There's so many guys, but he's having the best season of his career.
Yeah, the answer's no. And Joe Burrow's balling. Offensive Player of the Year. I mean, he's in that conversation. MVP, no, he's not. MVP goes, and it's just like the MVP goes to the quarterback, but the MVP goes to the quarterback with a winning record. Period. There's never in the history of the game, even since 1960, and it was games played way before that, a quarterback has never won it with a losing record. Never, ever won it. So the answer is no. Joe Burrow, you got Josh Allen, you got Lamar Jackson, you got Saquon Barkley, you got all those dudes whose teams are winning and they are balling. So the answer is no for Joe Burrow. But I even went back when, like, number one, we ain't even really talking about Jamar Chase. Ain't nobody mentioned Jamar Chase an Offensive Player of the Year.
Oh, yeah.
Ain't nobody mentioned Jamar Chase an Offensive Player of the Year. We strictly keep going to Joe Burrow, right? He's finna win a triple crown. It's only 4 players in the history
That's it?
of the game that have won a triple crown. In the history of the game. Cooper Kupp, Steve Smith, Jerry Rice, Sterling Shepard.
Ooh.
And it's about to be Jamar Chase.
Sterling Shepard.
And we ain't even talking about him in the Offensive Player of the Year. We're talking about Joe Burrow, and he has 5 wins. So MVP is out. Offensive Player of the Year, yes, because the stats and the numbers say so, but MVP is going to go to a dude like Josh Allen, Saquon Barkley.
I'm not even considering Joe Burrow.
Thank you, sir, and I'm glad you said that because you're a voter.
I'm not even considering him, and it's for this reason. For me, I'm one of 49 other voters. I think there are 50 total. I'm one of 50 voters. For me, wins are a quarterback stat. For other voters, that's not the case. Y'all vote how y'all want to. But valuable, how valuable are you if your team is losing? If your team is 5-8, how valuable can you be? The most valuable thing you can do in football is win. So if your team is not winning, how valuable are you? If it was the most impressive player in football, put Burrow in that conversation. If it was the most electric player in football, put Burrow in that conversation. If it was the most talented player in football, put Burrow in that conversation. But if it's most valuable player in football, with all due respect, I cannot undermine the integrity of the award by considering Joe Burrow in a year where Saquon Barkley's team has 2 losses and he might break Eric Dickerson's record. I can't undermine the integrity of the award when Josh Allen's team has 3 losses and he just gave you 6 total touchdowns. I won't undermine the integrity of the award because Joe Burrow's leading the league in passing yards and passing touchdowns. That's cute, but it's not most valuable.
I just think, man, and I hear you, right? I hear you. It's all how you look at how valuable you are. Because I could say the same for, like, the Cardinals. They're not a good team, but Kyler Murray is super valuable to them, so it's how you look at it. But I will say this, though. Last year, Lamar had 23 touchdowns, something like that?
26.
26, 9 picks, 5 picks, something like that?
Something, yeah.
So right now, Joe Burrow, there's not even the end of the year yet. He got, like, 4 more games left.
He lapped him.
He lapped him already, though.
Yeah.
So the MVP last year with his numbers, Joe Burrow already has that and more already. Yeah. And you're not going to consider it? I'm not saying she win.
Yeah.
But for some people, a win is, you listen, you got 5 finalists, I should be one of them 5. And I think for Joe Burrow, it's that. If you can't affect the league by wins, right, like Lamar Jackson did last year, how you going to affect the league then? By your numbers, by your stats. Yeah. So when you compare him against all these other MVP candidates, if Josh Allen's all-pro and he's the second third, I'm right there next to him, ain't I? He should get the edge because he's a winner. Yeah. But as far as looking at the quarterback, the way you playing and how good you are, and we comparing everybody in the league, I mean, how many dudes is playing better than Joe Burrow right now today? Because you called him out, so he wasn't playing that well, so I know you changed your mind, obviously, right?
Well, his team is not playing well.
It's Josh Allen and Joe Burrow playing the quarterback.
All I'm saying is
he's made some losing
out of
plays.
everybody in this league, you're going to say probably Saquon, you're probably going to say Josh Allen. Yep. Who else is playing better than him?
Yeah, I mean, you could say Jared Goff, probably. Yeah. Sam Darnold even, too.
No, it's not. I wouldn't even say those dudes is playing better than him because that's why I say they not.
Not playing better than him.
You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, wins is how you get the MVP at the quarterback spot. Now, if he was a receiver, that's something else. If he's a running back, that's something else.
But all I'm saying is, yes, them dudes should win because they win in games, they in the playoffs and all that. Cool, right? Because I feel like if you're an MVP, your team should be knocking on the door to get the Super Bowl. So I'm with that. But not to win, though, to be on that list, he deserves to be on that list.
No.
I think they're completely wasting this season.
If I can't compare, or if I can't, compare. If I can't compare certain players with the wins, what else do you have?
So I truly feel like that is what Offensive Player of the Year is for. Offensive Player of the Year is for stats. That's what Offensive Player of the Year is for. MVP is for the best quarterback. That's because it's valuable. MVP, no, but that's just what the league said.
MVP, how it used to be, how it should be.
I'm with you on that.
And I'm not judging these voters.
I'm with you on that.
There's a voter next to me. And I'm not looking at him, but I'm talking about it. As a voter, you should have the most respect for these. It's the elite of the elite. So my thing is, if you winning games and you putting them numbers up,
no doubt,
that's what an MVP really is.
No doubt. Say the first one. If you're winning games,
in all sports, baseball, basketball, the majority of the time the MVPs have a really, really good record and they balling out with numbers. I don't know where we just start saying, oh, well, man, his team is number 1 in the NFL.
Yeah.
He's pretty good.
I'm with you. I am with you on that.
The only thing I would like, if Joe Burrow gets to 500, let's talk about it.
Yeah, that's
if he finishes the season, at 6-11, can we just relax? If he gets to 8-9 or 9-8,
I just think it's like such
talk
a
about
travesty a little bit because they're wasting 2 of the best offensive seasons in all of Bengals history.
Yeah.
Like their defense is ranked 29th in scoring defense, 26 in total. That's the problem. The Bengals are 2-4 this season when scoring 30+ points. When you score 30 points a game, the rest of the NFL is 85-6.
Yeah.
4 losses by the Bengals when you score 30.
I just got a question.
They're
because then he got to answer.
You gotta go.
Hey, when we return, we got to get to the locker room. It is the most... What up, YouTube family? Welcome to the facility. Thanks for watching, and you better be sure to hit that subscribe button if you want to get more highlights from the show and all of our exclusive content.